So in this video, I'm going to answer the question, compare batch gradient descent, stochastic gradient descent, and mini batch gradient descent. So batch gradient descent is the gradient descent algorithm using the entire dataset in each iteration of updating the model parameters. It is also referred to as vanilla gradient descent or just standard gradient descent. An advantage of batch gradient descent is that it provides a deterministic and stable convergence path, and so its results are easy to reproduce. However, batch gradient descent is computationally intensive, as it can require the whole dataset to be stored in memory, so it is generally not suitable for large datasets. In addition, the parameter updates are infrequent, and so it is slow to converge to an optimum solution. In contrast, stochastic gradient descent is the gradient descent algorithm using a randomly chosen single training example in each iteration of updating the model parameters. The stochastic/random nature introduces noise in the parameter updates, which leads stochastic gradient descent to be more exploratory of the loss landscape than batch gradient descent. This can help the stochastic gradient descent algorithm escape local minima. However, noise in parameter updates can also lead to slower convergence in later iterations by preventing the algorithm from making meaningful progress down the loss landscape. Finally, mini-batch gradient descent is the gradient descent algorithm using a randomly chosen subset of training examples in each iteration of updating the model parameters. This subset of training examples is referred to as a mini-batch or sometimes just as a batch. Therefore, mini-batch gradient descent attempts to combine some of the advantages of batch gradient descent and stochastic gradient descent. The batch size is defined as the number of training examples in a mini-batch/batch. The diagram shows a contour plot of the loss landscape for a model with two model parameters and roughly how each of these variants of gradient descent would take steps towards the minimum. And so that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.